Sweet. That sounds great. Excellent. How you going, gentlemen?
Yeah,
Good,
great.
thank you. Good, thank you.
Ex
Thanks for having us.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, JP, it sounds like you just got in late from a plane or something, huh?
Yeah. I got off the plane and I left my passport on the plane, so it was just a massive rush. But we're here. We're here. We
That
made it to
is
the hotel.
good. That is good. That is good. All right. Well, look, you guys can hear me okay?
Yep.
Mhm.
All good.
Yep, all good. Excellent. All right. Well, I'll do a little intro and then we'll jump into the interview. I know you've got about 15 minutes, so we'll be as quick as we possibly can. All right. So 1057 Radio Metro, where it's all about the music. And right now, thanks to Madman Entertainment, it's all about the movies. And every now and then a film comes along that not only makes you laugh, but also inspires you to believe that, if you want something bad enough, you'll move mountains or learn instruments to get it. And thankfully today, that film we are talking about is Red, White and Brass, the brand new film. And we're very, very fortunate to have two of its creative forces behind this film today. Director Damon and JP, the star. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, good.
Good,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for having
Excellent.
us.
Great to see you both. Where do we find you today, JP?
Where do you find me?
Yeah, I know you're in a room.
Socials? Oh, I
No,
thought you meant
no.
I was like social
Where
media.
are you
We are
physically at the
Park
moment?
Hotel. Yeah, Park Hotel.
Okay.
Honestly, I just jumped in the car and then we just moved. Everything's been happening really quickly. But yeah, we're here in Sydney getting ready for the Sydney Film Festival.
Oh, fantastic. How exciting. So we've got the film being screened there over the festival.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Tomorrow. No, tonight. And there's a screening tomorrow. Look at me. I'm a mess.
You're looking fly in my mind, I tell you. It's looking great.
Thanks,
and Damon, where do we find you at the moment? Are you in Sydney as well?
Yep, same hotel. I've been here. I arrived yesterday, but JP's just flown in this morning.
Fantastic. Excellent.
So yeah.
Well, gentlemen, can I start off by saying congratulations on this movie. I had an absolute blast watching it, and I'm sure that audiences will as well at the Sydney Film Festival. Damon, I suppose being one of the big creative forces behind this film, could you maybe give us a little bit of an insight about what Red, White and Brass is all about?
Yeah, so I'm a co-writer and director, and it's based on a true story. And it's set in the 2011 Rugby World Cup, and it's all about a group of Tongans who can't get tickets to see Tonga play against France. So they come up with this idea to tell the city council that they've got a marching band so that they can perform and then get free tickets. And just happens to turn out that they don't have a band and they don't even know how to play instruments. So they've got a very short amount of time to learn to play.
This is like one of those I can't believe it actually happened films. So how did you come across this story, Damon, and sort of what, how much creative liberty could you have being a writer on this?
Yeah, so just to give it context, so the film is based on a true story, and it's Nua Whanau, who's one of the co-writer and producer of it. It's basically based on his real life story. So he had the story. He's been kind of telling people about it for years. It's like, and everyone's been going, "Oh, you got to make this film, bro. You got to make this film." And he was like, finally found the right people. They sort of connected a few of us together, and yeah. So basically, the writing process was him just telling stories, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. We'll write that down." And often he wouldn't know what was funny. He'd just like talk, and I'd be like, "Oh, bro, that's really, really funny." Okay, and so yeah, I mean that's. Because it is a film, we did take some liberties. So probably the main one was just the amount of time that the band had to actually learn the instruments. But that, I mean, kind of dramatic license just to make it feel a bit more urgent. But even the real life story, they didn't have a lot of time to learn, and they were starting from nothing and had nothing. So I think the spirit of the story is true, but yeah, few liberties taken.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it makes it all the more entertaining anyway. I think the stories you said that the base of it is quite a phenomenal feat. And JP, obviously you played the main character here as well. So massive props to you, my friend. I mean, this must be a whirlwind for you the past few months, going on this crazy media circuit. And I believe you were studying studying law and sociology or something before this. Is that right?
Yeah. So I studied. That's what I was working in that field as well. Like after I finished my studies, but I've always been interested in music, and I left working in that space to pursue a career in music. And then I was just on a buzz. Like I want to try lots of different things, and just saw a few ads for other things, and then I worked as an extra on Polynesian Panthers, which North now was also a co-writer and co-producer on. And he's obviously had my contacts, and then got me in for an audition, and this is my first official acting role and got a lead role for it. So like you said, it has been a whirlwind. Very grateful. Honestly, so many pinch me moments, and it's just such a blessing to be able to travel for a film that I'm so passionate about, and like that's Tongan. I can relate to it. My family love it. It's a blessing.
It's fantastic. It's amazing. And I guess the big thing for me, I mean, you're central to this film. I mean, without you, we haven't really got a leader at all in this movie. So I'm interested to know about the creative process of getting to that point with your character. Can you take me through that? Like, how much creative license did, I guess, Damon, did you give JP, and vice versa? Did you sort of work with prior to and on set?
I think because Damon, you go first, and I'll just add on to what you said.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, because the character is basically based on Nua, that JP was kind of and he was kind of in that mold. So it was all on the casting. But you go ahead, JP, you tell it.
Yeah, not exactly that. So Noah it's obviously based on him and his family, and he's a co-writer and co-producer, but he's also very hands-on with his approach in terms of just helping us, and like in a way that's very collaborative, and he allowed us to have creative freedom with the script. But it's also because it's so Tongan, and the characters it's about Tongans in a Tongan church, and we know this world so well. It's just things that we take for granted. We always have that cousin that's the loudmouth saying that they can do everything. You have the cousin that's saying you need to get in line and do what your parents tell you. So even though we did have that creative freedom, it was more like in the sense of just stepping into those roles and the world that we all know so well, and being unapologetic and bringing that to life. There was many moments where I felt like me as a person being at my peak mafana, I guess, or Maka as a character, being so extra, that he might act in a certain way, but I would feel, maybe I shouldn't do that because I'm standing in front of a congregation of Tongan actors who's really just Noah's family, and they're not actors as well. But we're able to just be unapologetic about it, and if we felt this is what the character will do, then we'll do it in the moment. And if they felt that was funny or cool, then they'll keep it. If not, it's just they'll be like, what the hell was that? Next, carry on. It was very fun.
And did you so whose idea was it with the trestle table? I mean, that disappearing act is classic.
I don't know whose idea that was, but that's not even that's so normal, that kind of thing, just getting out of chores and always making excuses why you can't do it. I've got to do something else, and there's always someone that's telling you that you need to be following what your parents are doing. But it's just so cool that that the production team really saw the value in our stories, and all the different nuances of what makes being Tongan. Like Kati was saying, casting was on. This is what happens when you have stories being made about our people, being told by our people, and carried out by our people.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually that this has made such a massive buzz. And I suppose from an international point of view, having people like Taika behind this as well, as opposed to and his production company along with Kathy, they really brought this to the forefront. And how important is it for you to have this as a breakout film? I mean, you know, from a Tongan point of view, we're seeing a lot of Samoan films. We see a lot of other different islander films coming through. Damon, maybe I'll throw this one to you. What was it that you went, okay, this is the thing that's going to definitely break the national barriers and send it out into an international field?
Oh, I think one of the things was that we set out to make a film that was quite broad. Like it was not going to be sort of too culturally specific. It was, it is culturally specific, but it was kind of we wanted to make a film that anyone could go and see, so that you could take your parents, your grandparents, your nana, your aunties, the kids. It's like everyone can see it together as a family. And we also wanted to make sure that it was very truthful, like that we weren't sort of making a film that was catering to a non-Tongan audience. It was like, okay, we're going to put in Tongan language. We're going to make everything as authentic as possible. We had like Tongan crew who were like making sure that what you see is authentic, like down to very sort of small details, which now every time I see the film, I've seen it quite a lot of times now, but like I still see new things that were just in the background in the kitchen, or that there's a yellow sauce bottle that's on the table when the family are eating. I'm like, and I was like, what's that sauce? And it's like, they explain what it is, and they go, oh yeah. So there's just so many things like that, and I think that's maybe been missing in a lot of Pacific Island films, especially ones that have been sort of made more by non-Pacific people. They're kind of telling the stories, but not in a way that's completely honest or truthful to the people that have lived the experience. So I think that's something that'll hopefully resonate. Like, it's a universal story, but it's also showing Tongan culture in a very specific way.
Absolutely, little nuances along the way, which I really love, which is just fantastic. So JP, as I mentioned, this has been a whirlwind for you. Can I talk about your dance moves for a few moments? Because man, you could shake it, right? It was this like, did they just go, we got a choreographer here, or just go, JP, can you dance? Can you just do something?
It's so funny. Like this, when I say like some of the ways in which we did things was so Tongan, and I mean like it's in the script. Like Maka ends up dancing in front of the church, but like I'm like, what? And then I love dancing, but I'm not a dancer, and I've got dancer friends, you know, like they're the dancers. So I was like, man, like I really need to like learn like just some staple moves just to do that look fun, like nothing serious but look fun. But then of course it comes to the day of filming, and like Noah, being Noah, he's just like, you know what to do, just do, like just dance, or just dance, like play the song in the movie. They just play the song and I start dancing, and you just have to start dancing and hope that you don't look like unco doing it. And maybe if you do, at least it looks funny. Well, yeah.
Well, I thought it was great. I'm very
Thank you.
convinced. I thought you had a choreographer behind you. I thought it was like, you know, dancing for 6 months training.
No,
It
but it
looked
was
like
really
it.
cool to see. It was really
Maybe
cool
it was
to. No, I was just gonna say it was really cool to be able to do Tongan dancing, and you know that's something that I've done. Growing up right throughout high school. Things just like, you know, it took a lot of time away from our studies, and you know, parents, teachers, and everyone doesn't think that it's that important. And I'm like, wow, like it really helped me in a movie role. And I'm like, to my teachers at school, I'm like, what did you say?
It's fantastic. See, there you go. I'm sure there's some there's some guidings out there for some future students. And the music in this film is great, of course. You know, three houses down, who did some great stuff, and they're obviously really well respected. Look, we're really nearly out of time, but gentlemen, Damon, what is next for you, Damon? What's next? I mean, this is your first big feature, so what's happening next?
I'm just working on it. The next thing I'm sort of working on is probably not as, it's a little bit darker, but still kind of trying to tell Pacific stories. But I think it'll be more geared towards television until I can get like another. I think the ideas that come from films a few and far between, the ones that can actually get made and connect with an audience. And I knew straight away when this idea came along, it was like, oh, this could be a really good film. And I think we delivered on that. But finding that next really good idea that's going to sort of get made, it's a trickier one. So still working on a few things, but
well, if you need a good dancer, I know a guy who could certainly sort out some moves for you. And JP, you're involved in something in Australia. I read or heard somewhere along the lines.
Well, it's actually it's being released in Australia, but and I'm playing like an Australian Tongan actor. But yeah, so I was fortunate enough to get another role after Red, White, and Brass on a TV series, and then there's also a web series, online series that's going to be coming out soon as well. But very fortunate. I know that's not normal to be able to get roles that that quickly, one after another. But it's a good time to be telling Pacific stories, and it's a bomb time to be
absolutely, man. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yeah. But let's just hold up. I don't know if there's actually going to be any more work later, so we'll just hold on.
Just put your business card up to the screen, man. We'll let everyone know. Gentlemen, congratulations, JP, Damon. Amazing job on this film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Red, White, and Brass is going to be a national release in Australia in June 22. Good luck at the Sydney Film Festival, gentlemen. No doubt you'll get a standing ovation, maybe a trumpet or a trombone or something as well, just thrown out there. Who knows?
Hey, thanks very much for having us. Thank you.
Good on you. Thanks, guys.